We are going to go to Stone Slade and hit the high road with the man that loves to smoke a lot of that outdoor that just gets shipped to Texas. That's right. He loves that Delta 8 game and loves to troll and actually makes some amazing Instagram reels as well. You should check out his page. That's right. It is Mr. Stone Slade.
Thank you, Jason. Everybody knows that I love Delta 8 like you love Joe Biden and like Donald Trump likes to tell the truth. Anyway, today, my story comes from the Pew Research Center. With the ineptitude of the federal government that continues to kick the can, pass the buck, and dangle the carrot that is descheduling a plant that never should have been scheduled in the first place, fine organizations like the Pew Research Center and Gallup polls reach out to Americans like you and me to find out public opinion on a wide range of things. One such thing is Americans' view of and experiences with cannabis. So while some states like Texas are still desperately holding on to the ability to arrest its citizens for low-level cannabis possession, here's 7 facts about how Americans feel about cannabis today. Number 1, around 9 in 10 Americans say cannabis should be legal for medical or adult use. That's an overwhelmingly majority of the U.S. adults, 88% in fact, say either that cannabis should be legal for medical and adult use, 59%, or that it should be legal for medical only at 30%. However, there are 1 in 10 closed-minded stinkers that say the drug should not be legal in any form. Number 2, public support for cannabis legalization differs widely by age, political party, and race and ethnicity. Adults aged 75 and older are far less likely than young adults to support cannabis legalization for both adult use and medical purposes. In fact, just 3 in 10 adults 75 and older say cannabis should be legal for adult use and medical use, compared with 53% of adults in the 65 to 74 age category, which is the next youngest category. By contrast, 72% of adults under 30 support legalization for both uses. Now, here's where Gretchen and Jason are going to cry fake news. Democrats and Democratic-leaning independents are more likely than Republicans and GOP leaners to support legalization of cannabis for both purposes. 73% for the Dems versus 45% for GOP. Number 3, supporters and opponents of cannabis legalization have cited different reasons for their views. According to the survey, Americans who favored legalization were more likely to cite 2 reasons as very important. The first, cannabis's perceived medical benefits at 86%, and the idea that legalizing the drug would free up law enforcement to focus on other types of crime, 70%, I like to say real crime. Among Americans who opposed cannabis legalization, 79% said the very important reason was that it would increase the number of car accidents involving drivers who use cannabis. And around 7 in 10 or 69% said a very important reason was that legalization would lead to more people using stronger and more addictive drugs, which is really more about these people believing the prohibitionist propaganda than really having an educated opinion about cannabis. Number 4, support for cannabis legalization has increased dramatically over the last 2 decades. According to the polls, support for cannabis legalization has actually more than doubled between 2000 and 2019. Number 5, fewer than half of U.S. adults, 46%, say they have ever used cannabis, which is lower than alcohol at 78% and tobacco at 57%. Number 6, most Americans support easing penalties for people with cannabis convictions. In fact, 2/3 of adults say that they favor releasing people from prison who are being held for cannabis-related offenses only, including 41% who strongly favor this, and around 6 in 10 adults, 61% support removing or expunging cannabis-related offenses from people's criminal records. With the feds and state governors moving slowly or not moving at all on this, it's important that we support organizations like the Weldon Project to help bring our cannabis prisoners home. And last but not least, number 7, 21 states and the District of Columbia have legalized small amounts of cannabis for adult use as of April 2023. So we're on a good track here. I'm Stone Slade, reporting for the High at 9 News Hour.